Alright, I think stream should be up. Brightness isn't great in the room, lighting's a bit shit, sorry about that. Let me know if you guys can hear me and all's good. And we'll get going. I'm holding the microphone because it's a bit of a pain in the ass to have it so far away. Sometimes it falls over. I'm getting a new microphone soon, so that'll fix that. Did I Dan, Tim, Deej, 777, Geisen, Darren, Casanova, DJ Son, Osama, and I think that's everyone. How's it going, everyone? Tradition, loving the intro music courtesy of Decepticon. He actually made it for me. Ooh, and the chat box is working, that's cool. So yeah, I'm messing around with this Streamlabs stuff and just getting to grips with this. It's not able to do some things that I'm used to, like interacting with browsers and stuff, but I've got some workarounds. Anyway, we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about Operation Dark Web. We got a new trailer today, obviously. You probably already know that, but there was also a blog post over on the PS blog. Xavier D, how's it going? And I took a few notes down, and I just want to hit some bullet points, things that I haven't talked about already, things that I wanted to talk about in that earlier stream I did, but I was rushing and I had only watched the trailer like once or twice and just wanted to get a video out there. Fozzie Bear, how's it going? Thanks for joining. So Operation Dark Web on the PS blog. First thing I want to point out is that they showed this roadmap. Let me just pull it up actually, so just bear with me a minute. New source, let's call it a roadmap. I probably should have had all this prepared, but you know, I'm an amateur, so give me a break. Okay, there it is. Open. Dunzo. Okay, so you should all be able to see that now. I'm just going to check the preview just to make sure it popped up. There we go. Cool. So a lot of this we knew, but there's some interesting things here that maybe some people don't know. So if you look along the bottom, you can see 3 operations. Bottom left, Operation Nightfall, that's grayed out because it's done. Operation Dark Web, that's what we're about to go into now. And then there's one more future operation. Now this raises the question, is that the last one ever? Are we going to have more operations after this, or our First Contact Entertainment? I keep looking at the camera here. I should be looking at this camera up here. Our First Contact Entertainment going to start working on Solaris. I know we're jumping the gun talking about this already so soon, but I'm curious, what do you think is going to happen after Operation number 3? So yeah, anyway, this also confirms the return of the Op Pass. So people who thought maybe you only had to buy the Nightfall Op Pass and that would do you for all these things, no. Each operation has its own Op Pass. It's all going to be, each one is going to be $9.99 as well. Did I Dan asks, or is that all the room they had on the screen? Lol. Well, you never know. Fozzie Bear, I'm doing good. Thank you very much for asking. And the boys are doing good. So yeah. And another interesting thing is that we've seen new maps in the past. We've seen new contractors, and we expect new cosmetics and weapons. But the new thing here that we haven't seen before is equipment. We've never seen equipment added to the game, tactical equipment, and now we've got 2 things. Now I didn't know there was 2 things earlier on. I thought it was just the motion sensor, but we've actually got another thing there, and we'll get to that in a sec. You probably already know what it is by now anyway. But yeah, let's talk about the motion sensor real quick. So you have to imagine they added that in as a way to combat rushers. I've said that already, and I think a few people are agreeing with me there on that one. But how effective is that going to be? I mean, it's going to depend on the radius. And another thing about the motion, I got some details written about it. I'll just read out the details I got. So first of all, the motion sensor, you don't need the op pass for that. It unlocks for everyone as long as you're level 13. As long as you have 7,500 crypto, you can buy the motion sensor. So there is questions about the radius of the motion sensor. How effective is that going to be? We know it's going to show a red outline of the enemy if they step in that radius. So it'll be interesting to see how effective that'll be. And it also benefits your allies. So that's something I didn't know before reading this blog post. Jason S, how's it going? So if an enemy walks into your motion sensor, they will appear as red dots on the wrist tablets of your teammates. So what that could mean is that maybe only one of you needs to bring a motion sensor, plant it near the laptop, and then that will do for everyone. There might not be no need for everyone bringing this, if you know what I mean. Or maybe two of them, to watch a couple of entrances, whatever. Of course, can enemies shoot them, destroy them? Probably. So maybe one won't be enough. I don't know. So yeah, and that brings me to the second one then, which is instant smoke. So that's interesting. It's going to work like an impact grenade. So there's already smoke grenades in the game, so that's why I was so surprised to see this. Instant smoke. Let me get rid of this for a sec. So yeah, instant smoke. You have to imagine it's going to be more effective than normal smoke. Is the cloud going to be denser? I hope so. Is it going to last a bit longer? I hope so. But I don't know. It's like a real random one, that one. You'd imagine they would just buff the smoke grenades that we have in the game, but I'm definitely going to be interested in checking that one out. And for the details on that one, you need to be level 5, and it's 3,200 crypto to unlock the instant smoke. And so that brings us to the new maps. But let me read this real quick. We got Vandal, we got Terrell, and we got, yeah, those are the new boys. How's it going, boys? The UL. Tradition asks, I wonder what regular smoke would do better than instant. I can't think of anything that it would do better. I mean, why would you want... Maybe it's going to be a lighter cloud, but would you want that? Like, why would you pick... Unless it replaces the one that we already have, that could be different, but I don't think so. I don't think it's going to change the meta too much, if you know what I mean. Unlike the motion detector. Where's Decepticon? Decepticon will be here for the Touch and Tips podcast. This isn't really a podcast, it's kind of just like a live analysis I'm doing. Although all this background and shit you were doing, or that you can see now, this is all part, like, work I put in for the podcast today. But yeah, whatevs. So new maps. So newsroom now. So we know it's changed from fake news. I don't know why. Do you think is it like a political kind of a thing that they changed it? Maybe Sony were like, not while all this shit's gone down in America. Change that shit. I think I got some images here. They released new high-res screens of, yeah, there it is, newsroom. So this is the stage area here, and there's like a green screen area too, which is kind of cool. Like, you could maybe make some cool videos with that if you have the software for it, if you know what I mean. Was one of the new weapons an M1? We'll get to the weapons in just a sec, but I have it down as M14. But you know, I'm not a gun nut, so maybe it is M1. I'm not too sure. Prozac, what's up? When is all the new stuff live? Tomorrow. Tradition has answered your question as well. Instant smoke might be like flashbang, blind you with smoke. It just has to be really dense, though. That's the thing. Yeah, Xavier, we're tripping in the US. Look, shit happens. You know, it's not your fault. Anyway, so yeah, newsroom takes place in Australia, which I wasn't expecting, and the blog post says to expect many Australian references, whatever that means. Maybe some Crocodile Dundee stuff is going to be on the news. Also, you can expect a Decepticon reference in there. Apparently there's going to be a Decepticon Easter egg on this map somewhere. First one to find is wins a prize. I don't know what the prize is, but you know what? Don't hold me to that. I'm not going to give you anything. Okay. Another thing to know about the newsroom map is that this is going to replace the hangar in the main menu. So you know when you're in the lobby, You can see the hangar, so now you're going to be in the newsroom, and I imagine next season they'll change it again, which I think is pretty cool. It's nice to have the backgrounds changed up a bit. And then we briefly saw cargo. Now, I don't have any screens of cargo, but when they were showing proxy, so proxy and cargo, plus the other weapon, are all going to be mid-season updates. I think week 5, I think. And we saw proxy on the cargo map, but then the cargo map, like, it cut to a CCTV camera, and we'll talk more about that in a sec. But that was kind of just showing 3 still images, really, is what it was, of in the interior of the cargo. So it was hard to get any kind of a read on how good that map might be, other than it just looks nice, you know. Boys talking about dinner. Decepticon reference is probably news footage of well, maybe I shouldn't say that out loud. I hope the rotation is better, says 777. 7 out of 10 matches are in Afghanistan right now. I think Firewall Frank directly addressed that. He's like, he understands that one. He said the team are talking about it, so it sounds like they're going to cool it with the super intense 7 out of 10 rotation, as you put it. Okay. So yeah, cargo coming mid-season, and then that brings us to the 2 new contractors. I think I got an image here of, his name is Kane, and he is a New Zealander. If I can just find it real quick, there he is. Pop that open. Dunzo. So here's Kane. He's got like the Maori tattoos and stuff like that, and his whole shtick then is blade, so that's his skill. We saw it in action. Now, when we saw it in action, it looked like they were up against AI opponents, so when he threw the blade, the AI guy instantly went down, so that had people wondering, is that going to lead to instant deaths or whatever? But I don't think so. I just think the AI, you know, they go down easy. Like, maybe it will down you, but it's not going to down and eliminate you, if you know what I mean. Yeah, and the fact that you're using knives now also means that 2 skills like Psycho and Rhino Skin, all of a sudden those 2 skills become useful, kind of, if you want to run Kane, if you know what I mean. Because who was running those skills before? I don't think anyone was. Geisen says Kane is from New Zealand. What did I say? Did I say he was from somewhere else? I apologize if so. But yeah, he's got like the Maori tattoos is what I mean, isn't that? Aren't the Maori part of New Zealand? No? Maybe I blew it. Mansoor Zakir, what's up? And Wakati, what's up from Wisconsin? How's it going, Wisconsin? And then we got Proxy. So we don't know an awful lot about Proxy, other than she's a female. We don't know where she's from. But surprisingly, the PlayStation blog did tell us the name of her skill, which is called Eagle Eye. And if you compare that with the end of the trailer, we saw her go up to an access point and it looks like she was doing something to it, like hacking into it. After that, the camera immediately cut to CCTV positions around the map. So it looks like, I mean, I'm 99% sure, I think a lot of people are as well, that her skill is going to allow you to go to an access point and hack into the CCTV cameras, so that even though you're alive, you can cycle through the cameras, you can give intel to your teammates. Now, of course, the downside of that means, I'm sure, is that you're completely exposed. You're not going to be able to defend yourself while you're doing that. So that one could really be a game changer, I think. And it raises a question of, should these skills be timed exclusives like they are now? Because these skills are only really available if you buy the op pass for the duration of the season. At the end of the season, they're for everyone to buy with crypto. Much like the guns, well, yeah, much like the guns and all that. No, the guns are free, sorry. Never mind, I forget I said that about the guns. Guns are free as long as you complete the challenges. But yeah, it's a bit of a thin ice situation. It's kind of the same with Lynx and his unstoppable skill, even though I don't think that skill is as powerful as some people were afraid it might be. But still, the ability to hack into cameras while you're still alive and give intel is a pretty cool one potentially, especially for a high level team. Nick Mew, how's it going? 777 says no. Time exclusives for skills is BS. That's a strong opinion from Mr. 777. Tradition says that he loves that the new skills are new elements rather than just an extra item. Well, that kind of raises another question. And how's it going, Jesse, by the way? Should what's his name? Kane. Should Kane's skill... Well, let me rephrase that. Should it be that knives are added as a lethal rather than as his skill, and then maybe his skill could be that he carries a couple of extra knives rather than him being the only dude who can use knives? Because I don't think there's anyone else who has a skill like that where it's like a piece of equipment like exclusive to them. I know you'll be able to put that skill on other people, but it seems like it might fit more with a lethal throwable, if you know what I mean. Terrell wants to see a contractor with a double primary skill. I don't know, would that be OP? Vandal says, now they will need a sabotage skill. Kill half the camera feeds for the other team. Yeah? Jesse says, no other killing skills. Alright. Well, there you go. Anyway, weapons. I think there's an image. Did I get an image of the weapons? Let me check. Like a better look at them. I know you saw them in the roadmap already. Typing guns. I could have swore I got a better look at them. Yes. Done. Ooh, that's a very small image. Let me expand that a bit. Okay, so the one on the left then is called the Z1 Reaper, and that's based on an M14, I think. Now, I'm no expert on guns, but that's what people are saying. Some people are saying M1, but Tradition pointed out it's got a certain type of magazine or whatever, so I'm going to go with M14. Now, it's classified as a marksman rifle, so think of it like the Reg KAs, so one shot, semi-automatic. It's apparently extremely accurate, but hopefully it's going to be more useful than the Reg Ks. And that one will be available on week 1, as you can see there on the screen. 5XL says, making knives throwables would be cool, then make more throwable weapons like kunai, shuriken, and razor edge playing cards. That might be going a little bit too far down the wacky rabbit hole, 5XL. 777 says, did they show the new final gun skill you unlock like they had for Nightfall? Yes, they did. It's you don't see a picture of it here, but it's in the trailer. It's Jag's Stalker, it's called. You see Jag pick it up off the table. It kind of matches her aesthetic. If you ask me, it's not quite as nice as Okoro's AK-47. Josh, how's it going? What happened to PS viewer Frank? He's working with First Contact Entertainment, so he's a busy man. But I think he will be back to the YouTube at some stage. I'm not 100% sure, but I think he has said he will be. Jesse says the Z1 is like a small sniper rifle, but I think we can assume it's not going to have any kind of a scope other than the 2 scopes that we already have. Not even scopes, sights, I should say. Tradition, I hope so too. Frank probably still on the honeymoon, says Geisen. I think he's back. That was a while ago now. Anyway, so that's the Z1 Reaper, and then we have the Sten. Now, at first, I was convinced this thing was a grenade launcher, judging by how it looked in the trailer, because it has a magazine sticking out the side that I missed the first time, but that was pointed out to me. And this is like a World War II era rifle, so definitely not a grenade launcher. That one's going to be available week 5, which is mid-season, and this one is classed as an SMG, whereas the Z1 Reaper is classed as a rifle. And the thing about this is it has low recoil and high damage, but we'll have to wait and see how low that recoil and how high that damage really is. So yeah, let me get rid of Kane, and let me put this back up too. I've set the speed to like 20% so that we can get a better look at stuff for that video too. Yeah, and so the next point I have here then is the legendary skill, Jag Stalker. I'm not too pushed about it, to be honest. I think Okoro's was the better one. And then the next point is cosmetics, and it's the usual stuff with cosmetics, but with one exception. They're doing a crossover with the game Days Gone, which is a Sony owned game. So it's interesting that Sony, First Contact Entertainment, First Contact are almost like a first party studio for Sony, but they're not, obviously, but they have a really good relationship with them, so that's why they're able to get these kind of crossovers. It's just a little trinket for the gun, but it's going to be free for everyone who has PS Plus. And one final thing to note is hack keys. Some people were wondering, if you bought hack keys from Operation Nightfall and you still have some left over, would those carry over? And yes, they will. That was answered in the blog post. So I think that covers everything. So is there anything in particular you guys think I missed, or maybe you saw something I didn't? What time tomorrow? Asked Billy. How's it going, Billy? I've no idea, but I've seen Frank say that it's going to be tomorrow based on Pacific American time. So right now it's tomorrow for me. It's like the 13th for me, 2 a.m. But it's only like 6 p.m. over there, so it could be another 6 hours maybe. I'm not sure. Not 100% sure. Decepticon has arrived. What's up? When am I getting those dino droppings? Is that a trinket? They got dino dropping trinkets? Agree with 5XL on the pistols. What should he say about pistols? He says, I would like pistols to be more relevant. I would too. And I'm surprised it's 2 guns instead of 3 guns. I just assumed it would be in 3s, like all the others have been in 3s, haven't they? You know if it's midnight release or something during the day. I think it depends on what part of the world you're in. I think if you're in California, it might be midnight for you. It's very hard to say, and I think once it goes to Sony, it might be outside their hands as well. I'm not 100% sure how that works. Sometimes they don't know themselves when exactly it's going to go live, and it might roll out in stages then, so it might hit Australia first, whatever, you know. Javier Cortez, Sony should acquire First Contact Entertainment and fully finance them. Javier, I think I agree with that completely. I think First Contact Entertainment, they really were onto something, and Sony could see that they were onto something. That's why they got involved with First Contact Entertainment. That's why they own the IP for Firewall, even though they don't own the studio. But yeah, definitely a good choice for Sony to acquire, I think. But now that they're making Solaris, maybe it seems like that's not going to happen, seeing as that's a PC viewer game too. Terrell has half a chubby, only half. I'm disappointed, Terrell. Javier, maybe that way we could get real servers, says Javier. Maybe. Decepticon reckons it's going to be 9 a.m. PST. I assume it'll drop around the same time the PSN normally updates. I think it's been random. I think I'll have to go back and look at when Operation Nightfall dropped. I'm not sure, did I stream that immediately? Was that like a midnight thing? I'll have to go back and check the old streams. It's a really good studio and they know the hardware. They have a really talented team. Like, you can tell Firewall, like, it has a polish that other PSVR titles just don't seem to have, you know. Love you guys, says Fozzie Bear. Hope one of you will let us know when it's live. I hope so too. And with that, I think I'll end the video, will I? Unless there's anything else to say. Put this stupid thing down. Decepticon called it like a wizard's ball before, I believe. And I enjoyed that. Xavier can't wait for Fairpoint 2. Me neither, Xavier. But until we get confirmation of that, I think I'm just going to end the stream. I will be streaming Operation Dark Web as soon as I can tomorrow. Got the day off, so looking forward to that. And I'll see you lads and ladies in the next one. Thanks for stopping by. Adios.